It's that time of year again, the Halifax County Cancer Association's 4th annual celebration of life at the Prizery in the year 2019. This year's theme, Carnival, and it absolutely was a carnival. Everyone that came seemed to have a great time. There were games, prizes, giveaways. Oh, the prizes were fantastic, and that's made possible by all the sponsors and volunteers and family members that give their time and give donations to make someone else's life more palatable. Thank you very much to all that attended and gave their time. And if you weren't in attendance, we hope to see you next year. Well, you've been properly greeted, so let's have some fun. It's carnival time with the Halifax County Cancer Association at the Prizery and the 4th annual celebration of life.
Good evening. I am Sharon Blosser, Director with Halifax County Cancer Association. We're here celebrating the celebration of life with cancer survivors and their guests. We're going to have a great carnival afternoon and enjoy some fun events, some great food, some great speakers, and just have a good time celebrating the cancer patients of Halifax County.
My name is Marcella Featherstone, and I am here because I had breast cancer. And I will be the speaker for today.
Yes, I'm April Lewis. This is my mother, Irma Lewis. My mother was diagnosed with breast cancer last year. However, she did beat and survive breast cancer.
The cancer thing is a nice thing. I'm going to tell you, it helps people a lot.
My name is Jeannie Lax. I had breast cancer, and the Cancer Society helped me with the gas miles going back and forth to them. It was very appreciative, and I love everything they do for the community.
My name is Louise Martin. I'm cancer-free for 6 years, and I'm doing good so far.
And I'm her daughter, Martha, and I would just like to thank the Cancer Society for all they do for the community.
Hey, my name is Catherine Burrell. I was diagnosed with cancer in 2017, and the Cancer Association really supported me, and I appreciate them.
We've had some great food. We appreciate Mindy Hall and her staff for providing our food for today. We've had some games going on. We've done a sucker pool. A couple of you won some big suckers. The suckers are back on the table if you want to go back and try again. If you pull a red stick, then you get to pick you a big sucker out of the jar. The other games are going on. We're going to have, they've gone to get now frozen yogurt for our dessert. When it gets here, we'll set that up and get it going for you. But I want to ask a favor. Without the help of the businesses and individuals and civic organizations and all of Halifax County, we as the Halifax County Cancer Association would not be able to provide the financial services that we do to you. Thank you, Halifax County!
If you're a cancer patient, you know it's a serious issue. But the Halifax County Cancer Association, its board members, family, friends, volunteers, caregivers, sponsors, everyone seems to pull together at the celebration of life. And that's what it is. It's a celebration. It's a time where people can forget some of their troubles and pains and hardships and just come together and be around other people that suffer from some of the same illnesses. It doesn't happen by itself. There are a lot of people that make these events happen. If you'd like to be a part of it, you can. You can log on to www.hccahope.org and you can find your way to donate. Or you can give them a call at 434-476-2714. They're located at 29 South Main Street in Halifax, Virginia. Don't forget, donate today. You know, picture taking is a great event. Everybody seems to love to have their picture taken, and then those pictures get mailed to the recipients, and it brings back just a memory, a little bit of joy.
Everything to do. He had eyes to see everything I needed, an ear to hear about my aches and pains, a mouth to tell me every day he loved me and say encouraging words to keep me going, arms to hold me when I needed a hug, a hand to help me when I couldn't get up, legs and feet to carry him to do what he had to do. And when he comes to his heart, he has a heart of gold with a lot of love and concern. What more could I ask for in a husband? I love my husband with all my heart and soul, and I just want to say to him, thank you for everything. I am Daisy Tuck. I'm 71 years old. I'm on a journey with cancer. It started back in 1997. At the time I had a lumpectomy surgery. Then 5 years later, cancer returned in my milk ducts. At that time, they decided to remove both of my breasts because it will soon go to the other breast. After that, I did not see no more cancer. This doesn't have anything to do with my breast cancer. I'm getting ahead of my story. I have to back up. During the time before I found out I had melanoma bone cancer, I lost 3 out of my family members. First, my oldest daughter died July 2014. Then my oldest son died January 2014. Then my husband died January of 2015, almost 6 months apart. And I'm still on this journey with cancer. Please pray that I will make it through this cancer. Sincerely, Daisy Tuck. My mother died July 2016. Thank you, Ms. Tuck. I have 2 events that changed my life that I would like to share. The first event was on June the 4th, 1960. The Lord blessed me with my wonderful wife, Dolores. Since then, He has blessed us with 2 daughters, 2 grandchildren, and 3 great-grandchildren. This year, we will celebrate 59 years together. The second event happened in March 2010. I was diagnosed with prostate cancer. Thanks to all the prayers and support from our church, Willow Oaks Christian, and support of the Halifax Cancer Society, and the fellowship and prayers from the Cancer Support Group, HOPE, and the wonderful care from the CTA Cancer Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I am in my 9th year of remission. Thank you.
I want to welcome now Marcella Featherston. Marcella was diagnosed with breast cancer last year, and she's going to tell you her story.
First, giving unto my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, who is first and foremost in my life. I would like to say good evening again. When I was asked to do this, I did not hesitate to say yes. I want to thank you all for giving me the opportunity to share my story. How did I find out I had breast cancer? On Monday, August 27, 2018, I went for my normal yearly mammogram, and I received a call back on Friday, August the 31st, to come back. My mammogram was abnormal for my right breast. They gave me an appointment to come back the next Thursday, September the 4th at 8 a.m. to do a biopsy. However, that had to be changed to 2:30 p.m. because I had to have surgery that morning for a kidney stone. They called me after they got the biopsy results back to ask me to come back in again. All I could think about is, what in the world is going on? I know they had told me before my tissues were really dense, thick and really tight together, and it would be hard to pick up if anything would be abnormal. So they gave me an appointment to come back in on Friday, September the 7th, as soon as I could get there after I got off the bus. Was I worried by now? Yes, I was. But I still did not take anyone with me because I was thinking for the best. The nurse came and got me just like a normal procedure would be done and took me to another waiting room and called the doctor in after we got there. By now, I am so nervous and I'm sweating and shaking. I guess she could tell because she was trying to make small talk, asking me how my day was going and did I bring somebody with me. That's when I realized whatever this doctor was going to tell me must not be good. The doctor came in and he asked me, did I know why I was there? Did I know why they had called me back in? And I said, no. He said, Miss Featherston, I'm sorry, but you have cancer in your right breast. Right then and there, I lost it. He told me it was small and I had caught it in time, so surgery would fix it. He was telling me what I needed to do, and he would refer me to an oncologist that day in South Boston to set up my surgery. I said to myself, wait a minute, only small is what I'm saying in my mind, but could not speak. And I'm thinking to myself, you said cancer, how can this be okay? I was crying and asking God, why me? How am I going to tell my children? Lord, I just lost my mama in May, and I'm the only parent these children have. Why am I going through this? So the doctor left out and told the nurse to let him know what I want to do. So she sat there with me, gave me a moment to get myself together, and explained to me that if I wanted to go somewhere else, she could get everything together for me as well. I told her this is what I wanted to do. I want to go to the Durham Cancer Center. She laughed out to get everything together I would need for them. I sat there and I cried some more. I talked to God and something came over me, told me to drop my tears, get myself together, and everything would be fine. I said a prayer and I asked God to guide me through this. I expressed my faith to Him and how He never let me down these last 7 years with everything I had been through. After I left out of the hospital, I talked with a dear friend of mine. She helped me to get in touch with the right people to find out what I need to do to get an appointment in Durham. I had to go to my OBGYN doctor to get a referral, and I got that taken care of before I left from over at the hospital. I had to pray and hold myself together for the rest of the day and until I could get to my children to break the news to them. I think I told them one at a time because I could not handle the both of them at one time. My daughter was devastated and she was asking me, why me? And my son, he cried and he asked me why. I told them I was going to Durham to another doctor to get a second opinion on everything because I didn't want to believe it. On September the 25th, I had my first appointment in Durham at 9:00 a.m. and I met with a nurse practitioner. Her name was Jacqueline Horn. She explained everything that the doctor would come in and talk to me about. She even drew pictures from what they could see from the records they had received from South Boston. I was really trying to be strong in front of my daughter because I did not want to get her upset and crying, because neither one of us would have understood anything the doctors told us. Shortly after the nurse practitioner left, then the surgeon doctor came in. Her name was Laura Rosenberger. She started drawing pictures of the breast to explain what was happening. She told me the tumor was less than 2 centimeters. My receptors were plus negative, and that was a good thing. I was considered as being in stage 1 of cancer. She wanted to double check to make sure so I had to go back on September the 28th for another mammogram on both breasts. And they thought they had seen something in my left breast. Boy, was I scared to death. But it was just 2 veins overlapping. So after spending some hours at Duke, I was scheduled to go to Durham Regional Outpatient Services on Tuesday, October the 9th, to remark the area in my breast because South Boston was a little off. My surgery date was scheduled for October the 11th, so I had to go to outpatient services at Durham Regional again that morning before surgery for them to inject dye into my veins. This would allow the doctor to be able to see the area of where she was cutting me. I had to leave the hospital and go to their surgery center. There were a lot of nurses and doctors. They each came in and explained thoroughly to me, my daughter and my aunt, what they were going to do to me. They also asked me what was I there for, say they would not be operating on the wrong body part. My surgery went well. They sent me on my way home before Michael got here. I was not home an hour and the lights went out, so my daughter and my aunt bravely went back out and got us food. They gave me 2.5 weeks to heal, and then I was back for checkups to see how my healing was going and to get me set up with my treatments. On Wednesday, October the 31st, I went to Durham Regional for my follow-up appointments with my surgeon. She gave me the most exciting news ever. The cancer was only within the tumor. It had not spread outside of any of the tissues she had removed, and my lymph nodes she removed from under my arms were negative as well. Then I saw the oncologist doctor for the first time. Her name was Robin Hardy Hood, and she talked with me about what I would be going through under her. Before she could start saying anything with me, she had to wait for the results to come back from the tumor they had sent off. She told me my options would be chemo, radiation, and the hormone pill for 10 years. We were not looking for to have me to take the chemo. Any woman's question would be, will I lose my hair? Her answer was, yes you would if you have to take chemo. I wanted to cry once again, but that comfort came over me. Then the last doctor I saw that day was the radiation oncologist. Her name was Bridget Kuntz. She talked with me about the radiation process and if I wanted to do it at Duke or closer home. My question was, why would I want to do it close to home when I am down here? She informed me that Duke has radiation oncologist doctors who come to Danville. Okay, so now I felt comfortable with doing my treatments in Danville. So she had set me up an appointment in Danville to meet with the doctor up there, thinking I was only going to have to do radiation and then come back to Durham to start the pill. Days before time for me to go to Danville, I received a phone call to come back to Durham. My results had come back from the tumor. On Friday, November the 9th, I had an appointment to see Dr. Hardy Hood, and that is when she told me I would have to do chemo and that I could expect to lose my hair and it would be best if I cut it off. I had to take chemo because my oncotype test came back in the moderate stage. What do I mean by oncotype test in moderate stage? An oncotype test determines the best treatment plan for the doctor to treat their patient. And when I say moderate stage, that is a number determining where you start your treatment. By my number being a 25 and in the moderate stage, my doctor suggested to be on the safe side to do chemo, and then we would not be sorry in the long run. So I had to do 4 treatments of chemo, and they were scheduled every 21 days. On November the 18th, I took the first phase of my hair off, and I thought I would be able to manage from there. I had my first round of chemo on Monday, November the 26th, and a week later, my hair started to come out. Every day I would stand in the mirror and comb my hair. And shed tears until I made up my mind to go to the barber shop and cut it all off to deal with it better. On Monday, December the 17th, I had my second round of chemo, and my last 2 treatments were January 7th, 2019 and January 28th, 2019. Now I'm ready to start my journey to Danville. My first appointment to meet the doctor, Dr. Q, was on February 5th, and we had a meet and greet kind of conversation. Then on February 12th, I had to go back again to meet with Dr. Q, and this time it was to check me and to discuss what will be going on when my treatments are being done. They also made my mold they would be using every time I came for a treatment. I had to go back to them on Tuesday, February 26th for them to do a dry run, before they actually started my radiation to make sure I was set right for the machine. I started my radiation treatments on Wednesday, February 27th, and I had to go to Danville 5 days a week for a month, and I graduated Wednesday, March the 27th. The same day, I had an appointment with Dr. Hardy Hood in Durham to get started on the hormone pill. She also gave me the okay to go back to my normal duty of working. So here I am today, claiming the victory of being cancer-free. And I know in my heart, I am healed. Now I'm just going to follow up appointments to make sure I'm healing from everything I have endured, and I know I have many more appointments to attend before the doctor will give me the victory. I pray that all of you ladies do your annual mammograms. It could save your life. Also encourage other women, also men, you can get breast cancer, to go have theirs done. You can save their lives too. Thank you for listening to my story.
And I want to take a minute to just honor the caregivers, the support group. If you're here supporting someone that has cancer or has had cancer, would you please stand? We've had a great afternoon. I hope you've had fun. All of you, when you came in, you got a little red ticket. If you do not have a ticket, raise your hand. Everybody got a ticket? Does anybody need one? Okay. Over on the table, we've got some door prizes. I ask that when you go to the table and pick your prize, you get to pick whatever you want. We've got 23 door prizes over there. If you would come up so he can get you on video. Okay. Let's go with the last four. 4463.
The Halifax County 4th Annual Celebration of Life, held at the Prizery in South Boston, Virginia. Pictured in the background is Sharon Blosser. She's the director of the Halifax County Cancer Association. And each one of these people that you see in front of you, they won a prize. That's right, it's carnival themed today. And they won prizes, and not just little prizes, big baskets, small baskets, all kinds of great things. Everyone seemed to have a good time. There were lots of games. Thank you to all the sponsors, friends, families, volunteers that helped make this a success. Each and every year, Halifax County Cancer Association depends on your donations, your giving, your time, your efforts, and they spread the wealth by giving everything they can to the Halifax County cancer patients. If you would like to be a part next year, log on to hccahope.org.
Okay, so the yoga bar has been set up. You're welcome to go help yourself to yoga. The games, the prizes have been refilled. Go enjoy prizes. Enjoy your afternoon. We appreciate you coming out.
Yeah, we got topics all over.
I want to thank everybody for coming out today for the Celebration of Life, sponsored by Halifax County Cancer Association, held at the Prizery. We had a great afternoon of fun, great stories, just celebrating the cancer patients of Halifax County, and we appreciate the support of the businesses and community partners in Halifax County for the cancer patients. Thank you for coming out.